Hi, Wild Tree Nation. This is Annie Alexander here from Kansas City, Director with Wild Tree, and I am coming to you today about referrals. So let's jump right in. So referrals are the quickest way to cash, okay? And they are the quickest way to team build. So if you haven't tried referrals yet, now is the time to start learning. So in the industry, we sometimes joke around that, cold calling people you don't know at all are God's punishment for not asking people for referrals. So be sure to start asking. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit what holds us back from asking people for a referral. So sometimes it's about fear, right? It's a little bit scary to ask. And I want to just talk about that a little bit and get it out there. So sometimes we have a fear of not being perfect, right? But it's not about perfection, it's about progress. So the first several times that you start this, at least for me anyway, it was a little bit scary. So it's going to happen, but you get better and better. We also have a fear of rejection that can happen. And usually it's when we're kind of thinking more about ourselves and about other people. So don't let that hold you back. Overcome that fear. Sometimes we have the fear of failure. And you guys, failing's gonna happen. That's how we get better, okay? So don't let that hold you back from getting referrals and helping so many people that need Wild Tree in their lives. And then another fear that we can have is just about not being successful. And sometimes we have to redefine what success looks like. So in this circumstance, I would say success is, did you ask for the referral? If you asked for the referral, then you're doing your job, okay? So let's get over those fears, let's conquer those, and let's start asking for referrals and helping more and more people with Wild Tree. So who to ask, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you a kind of a list, so get out your pen and paper. You wanna ask your anyone you've had like a one-on-one meal consultation with, ask them for referrals. You have a ton of trust with them, okay? Ask them. Your biggest cheerleaders that you have, your product lovers, give them a call. I'm gonna teach you what to say in this training video. Ask your family for referrals. You can ask people that have said no to Wild Tree. They might know other people, okay? Networking events are a great place to ask for referrals. So here's what you say. You're talking to them in conversation and you say, hey, I love working with people like you. I wish I had 10 more customers just like you. I was thinking real quick, could you help me with something? And notice when I said that I didn't ask a question. I said it as a statement. I was thinking you could help me with something real quick. Okay, then you're gonna pause and they're gonna say, oh yeah, sure, what? And then you're gonna say, I really like working with friends of friends. Who do you know who works out regularly? And you're gonna ask a question and then you're gonna give them some memory joggers. Who do you know who works out regularly, who lives in your neighborhood? And kind of pause, let them answer. Who do you know who works out regularly that goes to your son's school? Now, the reason you want to get really kind of specific in here and not just say, who do you know that might like Wild Tree? It's not going to work because in their minds, they have like thousands of people going through their mind and they're likely to just say, oh, I don't know, because they can't narrow it down quick enough. But if you're being specific about who do you know who works out regularly, who's healthy, at your son's school, in your neighborhood, at your church, but you're going to go through those really slow and let them think about it and go through that Rolodex in their mind and then share with you who that is. And you're going to write down that person's name and then you're going to say, who else? Okay, and give them some time to think about it. I know sometimes it feels a little awkward silence, but give them some time to think, okay, about it. You're going to repeat that same thing, who else, until they don't have more names to give you. And then at that point, you're going to ask another question. You're going to say, thank you so much. This is how I do business, and it helps me a ton. Who else might be a good fit? Do you know any stay-at-home moms that are looking for some extra income? Maybe kids from preschool, their moms that you run into, or from your workout class. And pause and let them think. And then you're going to ask who else, and you're going to write each of these names down. Okay. And you can continue to ask questions. You can think about the questions that you're going to ask before you call them. They may look different depending on who you're talking to and who your audience is. But just know you can come up with a list of questions of who do you know? Who do you know that works out? Who do you know that eats healthy? Who do you know that has food allergies? Who do you know? I mean, there's so many. I could just keep going on and on. But you guys, I hope, get the point. Come up with that list before you call, and then continue to ask. Okay? Now, you're done asking. They've given you a list of names. Now, let me tell you, some people, you won't get any names. That's normal. Some people give you 3 names. Very normal. Some people give you 10 names. Pretty unusual if that happens. Okay? But it's great. What I find happens most of the time, you either get 1 name, 3 names, 4 names. But then what happens over time is those people that you've asked referrals from will send you more people down the line. Okay? So I'm thinking of one person off the top of my head who has sent me at least 10 referrals. So it just keeps the train going. Okay, so you have this list of names, and now you're going to go back and say to this person in the same conversation and say, okay, tell me a fun fact about Sally. What's something unique about her? What's a funny story? Okay, and you're going to ask that for each one of the names that you do have. And then you're going to gather a phone number and email. You can ask what's the best way to contact that person. You can ask them to contact the person for you and just say, hey, my friend Annie's going to call you. You know, it's amazing what she's going to tell you about. It's great. I love it. Talk to her for a few minutes. Okay, something simple. They can just text it to their friend. Now, what you're going to tell your customer, your current customer that's giving you these referrals is, I love it. Thank you for telling me something unique about this person or a funny story. I get to compliment everybody that I call. And if they want to talk, great. And if they don't, that's okay too. At least they have a chance to hear about WildTree and how we can help them. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and business. Okay, so that's what you are going to say to them. You can send them a postcard as a nice touch, or a handwritten letter too. Okay, now let's talk about how to contact that referral. So your customer gave you this list. You're going to call Sally, and here's what you're going to say. Hi, Sally. This is Annie Alexander. And you're going to talk really slow because they don't know you at all, right? So say your name super slow. And then you're going to say your customer's name is Susie. So Susie has a ton of respect for you. She shared that you made the best cranberry dish at Thanksgiving last year. Your friends think it's Thanksgiving, something, whatever they told you. And say, does that sound about right? Normally it's a really nice story, some sort of compliment, and it makes the person feel good, and it builds trust in that relationship, even though you don't know them yet. Then you tell them how you know the referral partner. So I know Susie, she used to work with my husband. I work at WildTree. Have you ever heard of us? And then see what they say. So Susie didn't know if we'd be a good fit or not, but she said, you are the best, and we absolutely had to connect. I would love to talk to you more about WildTree and maybe how we could help your family. When is a good time to set up a follow-up call? Now, some people will say, oh, let's just chat right now, and then others will set up that call with you. And that call is going to be about 20 minutes usually. And for more information on that call, you can go to the one-on-one meal planning consultation and have that, or you can go to the cycle of recruiting. Okay, depending on why you're calling the person. So I hope that helps for referrals. They are fantastic. Once you start getting going, your next steps are going to have that great follow-up system so you can follow up with all of your referrals. Good luck, have fun, and we'll see you next time.